And sorry, I'm very new at this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm here on train 91, the Silver Star, New York to Miami. I'm going as far as Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and I got on it in New York, and right now we are at Baltimore. And I've been on the train. I got on the train at 11:02. We were about like 9 minutes late leaving Penn Station. And just show you, as I said, we're here at Baltimore. The trains, looking at MARC trains, that's the Maryland Regional Rail Company. Um, and they run the commuter lines into Washington and Baltimore. Anyways, this trip is about down to Rocky Mount, North Carolina. The trip is about 8.5 hours, and it's 460 miles. And we'll be in Washington in about another 40 miles. So we've gone about 180 miles, something like that. Anyways, I did book a roomette, and just give you a little view of it. These are the smaller rooms, and theoretically they can sleep two. This upper berth pulls down for a room. For an adult and a child, it would be good. For two adults, it's a little tight, although people do it. And this is Viewliner II. You can tell the Viewliner ones would have like a toilet. This one does have a sink, which is right here. Here's the sink. And the Viewliner IIs do have more outlets. There's the I don't know if that's the conductor or the sleeping car attendant walking by, but there are four plugs in this room. There's two on that side, and there is, I saw them before, there's two over here somewhere. But anyways, I have the room set up. I'm gonna be getting out at 7:30, so I'm not gonna have them make up the bed. I don't know if you can see, but this is the top bunk here, and there is a window for the top, which is pretty good, so you don't feel like you're in a submarine. And we're going to be going in a tunnel, getting out of Baltimore, Mount, North Carolina, 160 miles. I started this right before we left Baltimore, and there's a few tunnels after we left Baltimore, and I lost the connection. I'm really new at this live stream, so I'm learning. Also, I probably should have been doing this in landscape mode or horizontal, and once you start, you can't change it. So apologize for that. Anyways, we're between Baltimore and Washington, and there's also a commuter line. MARC runs commuter trains here. I don't know, you might have saw there was a little station we flew by, just like, but this we're still in the Northeast Corridor. The Northeast Corridor runs from Boston to Washington, and since about 2000, it's fully electrified. Up to about 2000, I think they started electrifying it pretty early, and I think by 1935 it was electrified from Washington to New Haven. And then at New Haven they would take off the electric powered locomotives and replace them with either steam back in the day or diesel. Now it's fully electrified. So when we get to Washington, however, that's where the wires end on the Northeast Corridor, and they will be taking off the electric power locomotive that we have now and replacing it with a diesel locomotive. And at that time, the power will go out in the cars. It's also a chance to get off the train, stretch the legs, maybe run into the station and grab something if needed. Usually takes 20 minutes to half an hour, something around there, when they change an engine. So that's coming up. I wanted to mention that. And yeah, this is an 8-hour trip. I could have honestly done it, for a lot less money. Actually use points for this, or less points, in coach, which you can do an 8.5-hour trip in coach. But it's just kind of nice to have, the compartment. Does come with 2 meals. I did have lunch a little bit ago. So you get a lunch, drink, and a dessert. And then tonight maybe dinner too. And if you want a beer or wine, that's additional. So here's the station we're going through. Couldn't really see the name of it. Obviously, we're somewhere in Maryland, a suburb of Baltimore, almost in the suburbs of Washington, D.C. As we're heading south, I have the view of the west side. So the trains coming up in the other direction are on the other side, so I won't have a view of it. There's a compartment just like this right across the hall, and the train, the sleeping car is not full. I've walked by. The bathrooms are at one end, and towards the other end is the other sleeping car. Then ahead of that is the dining car. So we're towards the back of the train. The last car is the baggage car, right behind this one. Towards the would be in this direction, and I don't really mind running backwards either. Some people hate it. It doesn't really matter to me. So what you get in here, besides the 2 meals, you get a couple bottles of water, and I think, I'm not a real big coffee drinker. They do have coffee set up towards the attendant's room at the end of the car, and you can get more water too if you need it. It was pretty humid out today. Here we go, another station, and it's really comfortable here. Some people might be a little cold. I like it, and you can kind of control, how much air you want in here. And there's also thermostat here, which I don't think is, I think they decommissioned them and they just have kind of one temperature for everybody. But for me, it's comfortable. But there are plenty of blankets on board. If people are cold. And I might just read a little book once we leave Washington, and maybe take a little snooze, whatever, and maybe have dinner. They'll probably come through asking what time you want to have dinner. Probably do it maybe around 6 o'clock. The train, if we're on time, and we seem to be making pretty good time. We'll arrive Rocky Mount, North Carolina, about 7:30. So that's about the trip. And this is, right now I usually do track how fast we're going. It's a pretty smooth ride, so I don't think we're going. I'm not sure what the maximum speed for the sleeping cars is. I want to say it's 110, might be 125. We might be going like 90 now. It's hard to say. But it's pretty smooth. When I was walking back from the dining car, we might have been going a little bit faster, and we're bouncing around a little bit. But I mean, the track on the Northeast Corridor is pretty good. I mean, there's, this is the backbone of Amtrak in a way. Most trains, and also there's a lot of commuter routes. Can't quite do the whole Boston to Washington via commuter lines, but you can do quite a bit of it. And I have a couple plans for some videos using the commuter lines. In the New York area, we have New Jersey Transit, which goes from Penn Station down to Trenton, New Jersey, is one of their routes, but that's along the Northeast Corridor. And then at Trenton, you can take SEPTA to Philadelphia, and then you can also go south of Philadelphia on SEPTA. I'm not sure what the station is. I don't know. It might be Newark, Delaware, but I believe it's one station past Wilmington. And then there's a little bit of a gap until you get to Maryland. And then there's, I don't know if it's Perryville or a little bit south of Perryville, and there's trains you can get to, a commuter line you can get to Baltimore. And then between Baltimore and Washington, there's also a commuter line. And then I guess that's where the official north ends at Washington, but you can actually take commuter line VRE, the Virginia Railway Express, south on the route, not as far as Richmond, but Alexandria, and maybe a few points south. I'm not that familiar with it. And also on the north end, of course, you have between New York and New Haven, Metro North, and then you have CT Rail, Shoreline, up to, I want to say, not to the Rhode Island border, but pretty much touching a lot of the shoreline of Connecticut. And then the MBTA out of Boston covers all of Massachusetts down to Providence, Rhode Island, and then there's one or two stops south of Providence. So there are a couple of gaps where you can't take commuter rail to cover the Northeast Corridor, but you can cover most of it. And maybe one of these days I'll do the math and see what percentage can be done by commuter rail. And that could be an interesting day trip too. But I think our next stop will be Washington, D.C., and then we'll do the engine change. And I'll probably end the video there because the engine change can take like a half an hour. And and I'm just gonna maybe stretch my legs on the platform. I pretty much have everything I need. I got some snacks here, um, which I probably don't even need because I'm gonna have dinner in a couple hours, and then I'll be off the train at 7:30. But it's a nice way to travel. Um, it does seem a little pricey, but it's kind of worth it, if you're not don't want to fly. Also, if you're starting off from New York, the Metropolitan Lounge at Moynihan Train Hall, which is part of Penn Station, um, is really nice. I this morning, and you can bring a guest with you. I brought a guest with me, and they have like breakfast sandwiches, yogurt, pastries, iced tea, hot tea, coffee, and it's all free. And it's a really clean environment. I've done videos on it. It's very clean. It's very safe. It's very quiet. It's not chaotic, and it's just really comfortable just to unwind. The thing is, to use the lounge, you either have to have a first class Excella ticket, which is really expensive, or a sleeping car ticket. Just went through another station. You can also, if you join the Amtrak Points Club, and if you travel, I forget how much you have, but I have a card. I did enough traveling on Amtrak, and I got enough points where I can use the lounge anytime as long as I have a ticket. It doesn't have to be first class or sleeping car. So that's another way if you take the train a lot or use the Amtrak rewards card. You know, it's nice to use the points for the trips. They're easy to use. I don't even think there's any blackout periods, or even if that's a thing anymore. I don't know. Also, regarding you can buy a day pass. I think it might be $50. Okay, that sounds a little pricey for breakfast, but for example, if you have a long layover, I don't know, you're coming down from Boston and you're there to catch a train to, you know, Albany or Pittsburgh or wherever, and you have a long layover, it might be worth it. Just go up there, hang out, just relax, and get something to eat. But anyways, that's my take on it. And I have visited the lounges in Boston, Philadelphia, and Washington, and a long time ago in Chicago. Okay, I think those are the only ones I've visited. That's pretty much a lot of them. I think LA might have one. I'll have to check. But anyways, of the ones in the Northeast Corridor, and they're all nice in their own way. Just because it's quiet and you can relax, but nothing like New York. New York has attended food service. The other ones just have kind of like snacks, just like this type of thing in soft drinks. Another station. Mostly getting pretty close to Washington. We'll probably start seeing the metro pretty soon. It might be on that side of the train, so I won't really be seeing it. Yeah, I think around, is it Rockville Center? Am I conflating that with Long Island Railroad and Long Island? But yeah, we should be seeing, as we get really close to Washington, the metro will be will be running parallel. I believe it's the red line. So anyways, I just wanted to mention about the lounges. Yeah, the one in New York is just tops them all, and it's on the from the main Moynihan train hall, which is very nice. You know, it was recently built, and it's on the second floor. It's got a balcony. With tables set up overlooking the main hall, which is really nice. And there's also nice seating and different types of seating. There's like high table seating. There's like conference type seating, and then there's these really high back chairs that kind of give you like a little privacy, even though you're in a big room with other people. And this morning it wasn't that crowded, and there's a lot of this is Sunday, a lot of long distance trains leave from New York in the morning, and of course the Acela trains. And there were a few people up there in the lounge, but I've seen it a lot busier. And in this train also, I've seen it a lot busier. I mean, we'll probably pick up a lot more people in Washington. And people have been getting on and off as we've previously stopped in Newark, on Trenton, New Jersey, Philadelphia, and Wilmington, and then I started the video in Baltimore. So I'm trying to think what else I wanted to discuss. I mean, in the future, I want to do this a little bit better, and I do want to have some guests on, some people that from my transit circle of friends, and other friends that aren't really into it, but either have lived in the city their whole life and been riding trains, subway, whatever, the whole life, and just different perspectives of obviously I have the channel. I video a lot, and I enjoy riding the trains, and there's quite a lot of people that enjoy riding the trains too. Some people don't like the long distance train just because of the time, and I get that. But when you figure out all the time you spend getting to an airport, and security, and then car rental, sometimes the train is, from time's perspective, pretty competitive, and maybe even more competitive. Especially if you're like on the Northeast Corridor, and there is car rental in Washington D.C. at the Amtrak station, so that's pretty good. I've rented cars there. I rented them at 30th Street Station in Philadelphia, and also at New Haven. So in Chicago, I rented a car in Chicago too. And I'm trying to think, I think that's about it. It would be nice if they had more car rentals at the stations. I did rent one in Providence, Rhode Island. It's not at the station, but it's a real short walk, like a 5-minute walk. But it's, I don't know, it just makes it easy if the rental counter is right there at the station. So hopefully, we'll see more of that. To me, that would make a lot of make train trips a lot more doable, so to speak. Because sometimes you absolutely do need a car at the end of your trip, and to have them right at the train station is great. So here we have a couple of tracks next to us, and they're not under the catenary, but oh god, we're coming into Washington D.C. There's diesels. It's mostly where they service the diesels, and here's a lot of Amfleet coaches. These Amfleet coaches are about 50 years old. I like them, and there's some Mark bi-level coaches. I like the Amfleets. We'll miss them when they're gone, but they are like almost 50 years old. And they're in the process of being replaced, but it will take a little bit of a while. So we got a bit of railroad infrastructure here. I'm not sure what this junction is called. I can't see anything out the other side. Let's see what we have up here. A lot of service tracks here. Now, Sunday's a busy day for Amtrak on the corridor. Oh, there's a Washington Metro train. They have a yard over there too. Yeah, Sunday's a busy day for Amtrak. This is part of a long weekend, so tomorrow might actually be busier. You can see all the wires, the catenary. Oh, there goes the Washington Metro. Those look like the original cars, like from the 70s. Yes, so this is Gallaudet. I'm not sure if that's how you say that. I think that's a school for the deaf. Some of these apartments would be great apartments for train spotting. Okay, I can see the parking garage that's part of the Washington Union Station, and the tracks on that side to the right go to platforms that have high level platforms. We'll be pulling into a low level platform area. That's a very cool tower. I don't know if they still use it or not. There's like 3 diesel locomotives lashed up over there. Yeah, you can see the high level platform. And there's an electric power locomotive. See the catenary, and that's what's in the front of this train, which will be taken off here. Okay, welcome to Washington, and I'm just going to take a quick walk just to show you how what it's like in the aisle. Sure. You really can't pass each other in the aisle. So this is the end of the car and the end of the train, and I'm looking at that's the baggage car, which is the last car of the train, and this is the last car for passengers. We have 2 restrooms back here and a shower. So I'm just going to walk through the car and head out to the platform. These are the bedrooms. These are the larger rooms here. And it is humid. This is what I mean by a low-level platform. I have to use the stairs to climb up. So they're exchanging the baggage. And then we'll be on our way probably in a half an hour. We came in on track 26. It's a big station. And so we have 1 baggage car.
This is a boarding call for Amtrak Northeast Regional Train 195 with service to Richmond, Maine, making it to the stop. All ticket messages, please proceed to gate 3A, track 25.
So we have 2 sleepers, 1 baggage, and a diner. These are the Viewliners. And then ahead of them are the 50-year-old Amtrak equipment. And this one is the cafe car, and ahead of it would be the coaches, very similar to what we have on this side. And I think they just announced this train here on track 25 is, I think, going to head up towards New York. So the station is beautiful. I'm not going to go inside, and you really can't see from here. But At the end of this platform, there's some escalators. You can see the escalators take you into the station. So the train to Miami has 5 Amtrak, 5 coaches, and 4 Viewliners.
New York was the biggest stop. Passengers received DE, stop 18. Again, the boarding call for Amtrak Express train 22 en route to New York was the biggest stop. Passengers received DE, stop 18. Thank you for your
So there's the escalator into the station, and a lot of people here are boarding. I think they're boarding on track 25.
This is a boarding call for Amtrak Northeast Regional Train 195 en route to Richmond Main Street with intermediate stops. Passengers proceed to Gate J, track 25.
Okay, that's.
Thank you for choosing Amtrak.
Oh wow, she's loud. They are going to Richmond. That train is going to Richmond. So they'll be heading out ahead of us. We'll also be going to Richmond, but since they're boarding now, they're going to be heading out soon. Anyways, friends, I'm going to end this video, this live chat, and I know it was like the last minute.
Attention, please.
Hopefully get some people to participate with me down the road. Alright, friends, take care. Thank you. God bless.
Track 25.